Hi, my name is Lance Goodell, member of the PTR. It's an organization for tennis teaching pros. Today we're going to talk about volleys, and we're going to talk about the positioning at the net for singles and for doubles. All right, first thing I want to comment on is that the grip on a volley is for a player, is a continental grip. But for beginners, you're going to want to use your forehand grip for the forehand volley, your backhand grip for the backhand volley. And those grips are going to look like this. Your forehand grip, again, the knuckle of the forefinger is flush on the right-hand side of the handle. So when you go to hit this forehand volley, face of your racket's going to be facing straight ahead. And then when you go to hit your backhand volley, remember, you can change your grip by using your left hand. You just go like that. Now you have a backhand grip. The knuckle moved over to the top right bevel right here. Okay? So now you go to hit your backhand volley. Take your racket out to the side. Keep your elbow up. And you hit your volley this way, okay? All right, so those are your grips. Now let's talk about positioning. Okay, so now we talked a little bit about the grips. Now I'd like to show you a little bit about positioning at the net for singles and for doubles. If you're a singles player and you're coming into the net, let's just simply say that you're going to come to the center of the court just for the sake of explanation. You don't want to crowd the net, and yet you don't want to stand back too far. The further back you are, the more likely you are to get a ball at your feet. The closer you are, the more likely you are to get lobbed. It also cuts back on your reaction time to any ball hit right at you. So I recommend to people to stand somewhere halfway between the net and the service line, which is going to place me right about here. So anything that falls over the net, I can run up and get, and hopefully anything they hit over me on a lob, I can run back and get that as well. All right, now, very important thing about the ready position at the net. Back on the baseline, you held your racket like this, but you can see that that's actually below the net now. When you play the net, you have to hold the racket head above the net. Also, you're not going to take your racket back like you did back there. You're going to take it out to your side. So there's no necessity to hold the racket close to your body. You want to hold the racket a little further out in front and a little bit higher up, but not so high that it impairs your vision. Okay. So I'm waiting at the good ready position, racket held up above the net, out in front of me. I'm going to go through the motion very simply for you and do this. Remember that it's no backswing on a volley. You take your racket out to your side, stop, step forward, stroke it from the shoulder, not the elbow, and you stop at the point of contact. It's kind of a undercut or chopping motion. It's like a karate chop. All right, so again, here, step, you notice I'm not turning sideways, you don't turn sideways at the net, and you go forward. Think of stopping at the point of contact. That'll do two things for you. It'll keep you from overhitting the volley. It'll also help you visually stay with the ball better. All right, on the backhand side, there's a little technique on the backhand side that I like to teach people. Instead of taking your racket back like this, like a lot of people do with the elbow down, you notice what happens is the head of the racket opened up on me right away. Start out with your racket here, and as you take your racket out to the side, keep your left elbow up. That'll keep the racket head from dropping back, and now you can go out and punch the volley. And again, we're not turning sideways, we're stepping straight forward as much as possible. All right, and that's your basic ready position, your basic technique on how to hit a volley. So now, I want to show you how it's done with the ball coming right to me. So we'll try to get a ball on the forehand side, and we'll see how it works out. So here we go. You notice I'm stepping out to go out to meet the ball, but when I meet it, it's a very short punch. Here we go again. And again, you notice my eyes are glued to the point of contact. If I can control what I do here, I can control where the ball goes over there. That's very important. Okay, ready? One more time on the forehand side. And there you go. I brought it over to the other side that time. Okay, again, you notice that I'm reaching out for everything. You don't want to get caught back here on volleys. All right, now, on the backhand side, it's virtually the same thing. You start out in good ready position. You see the ball coming to your backhand volley, and you punch. Again, keep it simple. Elbow up, keeps the racket head from dropping on you. And one more. And again, you keep everything short and sweet at the net, that way you won't overstroke the ball. Remember that this head and this head are related. Whatever this head does influences this head. So if you get out there to hit the ball and you jerk to see where you're going, you jerk the head of your racket, you're going to miss the volley. Okay, so you just got through seeing the volley with the ball coming to me. Let's do this one more time, a little closer up so that you can really see what it looks like. Here we go. Again, I'm keeping my eyes right on the point of contact. Now the backhand. Again. Okay, again, and you run right back into a good ready position. And there's your volley. Okay, so we talked about the volley now, and we talked about positioning and the grips and so on. But what do you do when you see a lob? Most of the time when you're at the net, you will be getting lobbed at some point. So there's a basic proper reaction that you want to have for lobs. Now, the minute you see the ball coming over as a lob, the first thing you want to do is to turn sideways and step back. The reason being, what is the lob supposed to do? It's supposed to get past you. So you have to let your first reactions get you going back for that lob. So you turn sideways, get used to taking at least 2 skips back. Now, as you turn sideways and you go back, your racket goes back to this position. Don't take your racket down here like you were serving. Take it immediately back to this position. All right? So you get in a sideways position. Now you're ready to move. Either way you have to move with your racket cocked and ready to play that overhead. So now I've talked to you a little bit about the technique. Let's see what it looks like in real life. So I'm at the net and I've hit a volley, but it looks like it's going to come back. Let's see what happens. All right, get sideways. I'm going to let this one bounce. And I hit the ball, and now I'm back and ready. Okay, once again. Oh, there's your lob. And again, back to the ready position. Okay, so now I just demonstrated on how to respond to a lob. And if the lob were hit a lot deeper, of course I'd have to run back, let it bounce and get behind it, and then play it. I might choose to play it as an overhead, or I might just choose to play it as a ground stroke and get the point going until I can find a way to win the point with a different shot. But that's your basic technique to use for hitting overheads. Okay, so that concludes the segment on the volley, and we also showed you a little bit about the overhead. Remember that on the volley, just like on ground strokes or anything that you're doing when you're hitting a ball, try to keep this head steady. Remember, this head and this head are related. Whatever this head does influences that head. So keep the head steady. And again, my name is Lance, and I hope you had a good time. I did.